Hello, freak bitches. So we have an interesting podcast for you guys today. Joining us all the way from a desolate place called Titan, the infamous multiplanetary homicidal genocidal maniac and philosopher, Thanos. Is it just Thanos, or do you have a second name?
Thanos is just fine. Joe, let me get started by saying amongst all the humans I have came across in my time on Earth, you have got to be the smallest.
Well, Thanos, let me tell you that out of all the aliens I've encountered, I've never came across one with balls for a chin. But moving on. My first question for you, Thanos, is why do you think the execution of half the universe's population is detrimental to the expansion of all living species? Is it not a dangerous path to walk down where we don't appreciate life?
Not necessarily. The world we live in is filled with pests and mites, all picking away at the fruitfulness of nature, slowly burning it to a crisp, leaving it a cinder. The destruction of every planet's population is the universe's way of reminding us why we are so small and why it's so significant. The inevitability of destruction is what keeps us from expanding. But with a controlled demolition, we can ensure the future generations can thrive. The sacrifice of the many will not be forgotten. A necessary evil, if you will.
Well, that's definitely an interesting perspective. But how can we be so sure that such a giant, controlled catastrophe will benefit all species in existence?
Paradoxically, the only way we can save humanity and the rest of the species is the threat of extinction. There comes a time in every planet's history where a great reset is not only necessary, but it's detrimental to the betterment of the planet's inhabitants. Look at your own planet, Joe. Do you think you would be alive today if the dinosaurs still existed? No, sometimes you have to chip away at the tree to get to the timber.
That's an interesting point, but surely with modern technology, we can create something that fixes the problems you foresee from overpopulation.
A carpenter without any tools is still a carpenter.
I don't follow you.
My point is, Joe, you can build the most amazing, self-sufficient citadel this world has ever seen, but the greed that laid the foundations will always crumble eventually. Fate has its way of making its point whilst you are most comfortable.
Wow, that actually resonated with me a lot. I did DMT this one time, and it felt like I was a giant space monkey flying through space, and
I tire of your childish empiricisms. Joe, you humans have a way of steering the conversation towards your ego and away from actuality. I came here today to reach out to the masses to educate them on their would-be sacrifice, so they could make a conscious decision, one built from relativity and not emotion. I didn't come here for Joe Rogan to reconcile about a time he unequivocally became less awakened. Let me forewarn you, Joe. Waste my time again, and it will be humanity that suffers.
okay, I think that's all we got time for. Once again, it has been a pleasure to talk to you, Mr. Thanos, but before I get the whole of humanity killed, I think we should call it.
That's a wise decision, and I hope humanity remembers you when we take you.
Say what now?
Nothing.